loss. Right? You're going to do stuff in your life that can make you money, and you're going to do stuff in your life that could lose you money. And you will experience both. So, Marie bought a new car for $25,000. But then she was in trouble. She didn't have enough money to do things, and she's like, I have to sell my car because I need the money. I have to buy a cheaper car. When she goes to sell it, and she only sold it 2 days after she bought it, she only got $22,500 for the car. How much money did she lose?
3,000.
Almost 3,000, right? How would you find out how much money she lost? You just subtract those two. You could use a calculator. You could subtract those, and you'd find out she lost $2,500.
Wait, no. What if she lost more than that? Like, what if she lost like 19,000?
Well, then she would have only sold the car for $6,000,
Oh.
right? Depending on what she sold it for. So she lost $2,500. Now we want to write this as a percentage. Okay? So 2,500 divided by 25,000 times by 100. Uh-oh. She lost 10%.
To be fair, it's going around everywhere.
Yeah.
Probably the
This often happens with a car. You buy a car, you drive it for a little bit, it's called depreciate, go down in value. And then when you sell it, it's going to be worth less than what you bought it for. So it's one of those things in life where everybody who buys a car starts losing money on it right away. Yes.
Clearly Marie's stupid because she maybe couldn't afford the car. So.
She maybe made a bad decision. Or she thought she was going to get a really good job. She bought the car, she was super excited, and then she didn't get the job, and I was like, uh-oh.
I'm in trouble.
I got too excited too quickly. So sometimes on financial decisions, it's a good idea to take some time, think about it, and make a good decision. A person buys a house for $350,000. One, you can add the E there. Oops. Okay.
I'm so.
Why is it? Uh-oh. My pens aren't working today. Not sure why. We'll do a couple test things to get my pens working. Test thing number 1.
Oh, I just missed. Is it 25,000 minus the, yeah, you just said
Yeah.
25,000 subtract.
You didn't like that? No. Interesting. Okay. Well, good thing I have them behind boxes because my pens are not working right now. Profits. Does it make sense that the person made $75,000 on the house?
No.
Houses are kind of interesting because usually and almost always, the longer you have the house goes up in value. And you can make money by doing just holding on to something. That's a nice thing. Holding on to a car, usually not a good idea. It goes down in price.
Like,
They're like-
actually doesn't most of them go up? Like in carpet with cars. They used to be
And
used to be
it
at one
depends.
point in
If
time.
you buy a collector vehicle that people will want later, it could go up in value. But only if you don't really drive it and keep it in really good shape. So then you're not really using it. But houses usually do go up in value.
Why do they go up in value though? It's because houses get expensive.
It's just I don't know who decided that, but a house doesn't really like what happens to a car after 10 or sometimes after 10 or 15 years the car is like
It's here.
so broken, right? Houses, yes, they break down, you have to repair things like lights go out and maybe you have to repaint or your floor gets too worn, eventually have to replace a carpet. But the overall structure of the house still serves its first purpose that you can live in it. And house is situated on land, and they're not making any more land. It's not like the earth all of a sudden is gonna turn into a big egg instead of a sphere, and you're gonna have all of a sudden a whole bunch more real estate available. So, for that reason, house prices go up. Now, as a percentage, if we look at this, 75 over 350 times 100, that's 21.4% in a year. If you are making, like, lots of people do investments and they look for things that will give them a certain amount of percentage. This 21% is phenomenal. You would all do this if I gave you a chance, right?
Are we missing a zero there on that one?
We're missing on the 350, yes, I would add a E and I would add a 0 if I could. There should be one more 0 here because the original was $350,000, yes. Can you wait?
Yeah.
Ya.
Una pregunta, ¿y una casa la puede romper un rayo?
¿Cómo?
Que si una casa la puede romper un rayo. Un rayo.
Raise. Hacia arriba, sí.
Sí, que si la puede romper.
Okay. Next idea, discounts. This happens a lot in stores. You see a discount. Someone says, hey, buy it now and get 10% off. Or have you ever been in a store and they say, if you sign up for our rewards program, we'll give you 10% off right now. Have you ever been in a store that's done that? And then you have to make a decision. Is it worthwhile? Because they're going to send you a bunch of text messages and annoy you for a while. So you're going to be like, well, but how much money will I save? New power saw, $250, but it was advertised as 10% off. How much money will Harold save with the discount? And what will the price be after the discount? So the discount is 10%. Whenever we do 10% off of something, it's multiplication. We change it to a decimal, so the 0.10, if I could write in a green box, I would. And that means he's gonna save $25, so the actual price will be the 25 minus the 250 minus the 25. And here's something really cool that a lot of people, I think, should know more about. So I went to my calculator. I could do 250 times 0.1 to get the $25 off. If something is 10% off, you pay 90% of the price. Does that make sense? Because 100% is the regular price, 10% off, you would pay 90%. So instead of, like, what we did in this question is we went 250 minus the 25 to get 225. But had we done 90% originally, 250 times 0.9, you would get the final price right away. This is super helpful. So if something's 25% off, I could go to my calculator and just say 0.75 times $40, and I could find out right away that it was going to be $30. Question.
I lost my paper.
You lost your paper. Your notes package?
Yeah.
I don't think I have.
All right.
Brody doesn't have to.
Wow.
Uh-oh. Put your names on it. Keep it safe.
Y'all do.
Yeah. Yeah.
On that first example, did you get 11.1%?
Oh, this is it. Never mind.
Oh my god.
I thought this was my science paper.
No.
Okay.
You got yours?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine.
10%.
Okay.
Okay? Because you do it over the original price.
Oh,
Allie goes shopping and buys $425 in groceries.
Wait, I didn't get the last
You didn't get the last one?
one. No.
There you go.
What page is this?
We're on page 5.
Is this like a new notebook?
This is a new notes package.
When did we get it? I don't think I have it.
You don't have it. You'll have to watch the video of the first thing that we missed.
Okay.
And then you probably haven't got the worksheets.
And do that now. Ooh.
Okay, next question. Here we go. $425 in groceries. When she got to the till, the total was only $385. Does it make sense that she somehow got a $40 discount? If we want to see what percentage that is, we do 40 out of the 425. Times it by 100. 9.4% off.
Estudiar. Y una pregunta, ¿y por qué siempre hay que dividir, multiplicarlo por 100?
Por hacerlo por ciento.
Sí,
Esto es un decimal. Va a ser como esta parte
esta parte.
0.094.
Cero.
Y esto, un por ciento, tiene que multiplicar por ciento. And some of you have already found the percentage button on your calculator, which is really helpful. So if you have the decimal, you can change it to a percentage by hitting one button. Or if you have a percentage, you can hit that button and it changes it to a decimal right away.
I feel like my brain wants to use portions on that example. But then I mix up how to, cause it's like, it should be like 425 over 385, let's say.
If you did the 385 over the 425, you would get 91.6%. Because you paid 91% of the original price.
Right,
Meaning that your discount was what would be left to add up to 100. And percent change. A farm's chickens produce an average of 125 eggs per day in 2025. The farmer thought maybe if I play music for the chickens, I'll get more eggs. And look what happened. They averaged 145 eggs per day. Next year was heavy metal and all the eggs were broken. Find the percentage increase in the average number of eggs. So do you see that you went from 125 to 145? So you increased by 20 eggs per day. What percentage is this? A 16% increase. Is it enough money to hire an orchestra for your chickens? Guys, I want to show you something on your calculator with increase. I'll actually show you it both with the decrease Okay? So on this discount one, it was $385 that you paid. Original was $425. We got a discount. And if I go to my calculator and I would have done 385 divided by the 425, I get 90.6 if I round it. 90.6%, right? You can move the decimal place over 2 to change to a percent. If you paid 90.6%, well, that's 9.4 away from 100. You saved 100%. But when things increase, like this one that went from 125 divided by 125, because you went from 125 to 145, the increase, the percentage shows up right in there. Because normally it was 100%, but now it's, what's the difference to make it 100%? 16% difference. Oh my goodness. This would be disastrous. And it's probably, okay, it's probably because you spent the money, but maybe you got hacked.
Why would they just steal money back?
I don't know, maybe there's like sometimes bank accounts have limits,
Es el back.
right?
Is
Do you know how much you can have you ever tried to take out money on your debit card and they say you've already reached your limit for the day?
Yeah.
Does anybody know what their limit is? Sometimes parents go, oh, she spends way too much money. We're gonna limit her to $100 taken out on your debit card.
I think mine is like 500.
I think mine's at 500 too.
At least mine was that bad.
And actually, I don't know if you've ever e-transferred a friend,
I have.
but everybody has a limit on e-transfers. You cannot e-transfer more than, does anybody know what the limit is for e-transfers?
I know.
200.
Oh, $3,000.
Oh, I was close.
I'm gonna take them out.
So one time I had to pay for something that was like $12,000. I know it's expensive. That was really nice shoes. And I had to pay $3,000 one day, then $3,000 the next day, then $3,000 the next day, then $3,000 the next day to pay it all off. A really large amount of books. So, look at this decrease. Someone took $675 from you. Did you lose over half your money? Can you look at that? Can you do a quick mental math? Did you lose more than half your money?
No.
We'll find out. If this percentage decrease is more than 50%, you've lost more than half. So we take the 675, you divide it by the original 1250. That percentage is 54%. You did lose more than half. So sometimes, and we might get into this a little bit, but sometimes with increases and decreases, people make investments. And there's a lot of interesting things happening in the world right now, and the stock markets around the world are crashing, and oil prices are going way up. All of those things are percentage increases. Some people are making a lot of money right now because they had oil when it was at a low price and now it's at a high price. Other people are losing money because they had other things that were worth a certain amount and now those companies are worth less. So there's people that do investments. You know what's really exciting about investments is if they go up, you are making money by doing no work. That's everybody's dream job, right? Wouldn't you like that as a dream job? When you like it, you come to class, In September, we started class, right? Everybody comes to class with $100. And if you pass at the end of the semester, you get your $100 back plus 50. You're like, nice, right? But if you don't pass, then I get to keep your $100. And then all of a sudden, my tests start to get really, really hard at the end. Like, that would be me. Okay. One last question, then we'll get to working on stuff. You have 50 people following you on Instagram one day. You make a bad 6-7 joke. The next day, it drops by 20%. Everybody unfriends you. You redeem yourself 2 days later
Keep it fresh.
with an 8-9 joke. And the number of people increased by 20%. How many people are now following you on the second day? This is an interesting question. Because the average person will make the following mistake. If you take something and decrease it by 20%, and then take what you have and increase it by 20%,
It's gonna be less because you're starting at the number that was.
everybody thinks you should be that, like a lot of people think you'll be at the same number. You went down 20, up 20. But percentages don't necessarily work that way. Take a look. Day 1, multiplied by 0.2, or 20 out of 100, you lose 10 people. Which means you now have 40 followers. You make your 8-9 joke, everybody loves you again. 20% go up, so we take the 40 and times by 20%, but you only go up 8. And now you have 48 instead of 50. This actually happened, maybe, it was a long time ago. But I was in a staff meeting, and it used to be that if you mark provincial exams, they gave you a little bit of money for marking them. Okay? And that money they just gave you as a check. You didn't have to pay taxes on it. It was just like, here's $200. So at the staff meeting, they said, unfortunately, we now have to charge you taxes on that. But to compensate, because your taxes are going to be around 40%, we're going to just add 40% to it. And I said, okay, but you have to know your grade 9 math. It doesn't necessarily work out to be exactly the same that way. If you just add 40% to it and take off 40%, we'll end up getting less than we did originally.
You have to add like 50%.
So I convinced them to give us more money. And everybody was happy with me that day. And my followers went up.
Did it actually went up?
No, there was no Instagram back then. That was a long time ago already. Okay, that's where we'll stay.